Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Sonic Love. So in today's video, I'm going to check out this amazing product from JSAUX. I've been looking for some type of cooling system. Obviously the Steamdeck, some of the most intensive games, the CPU and GPU does get pretty hot, and it sometimes causes a bottleneck, and then obviously the FPS starts to drop down dramatically. It doesn't happen in all games or all scenarios, but it can happen. But it's really nice to find something that can keep the GPU and CPU temps down. I've always been used to single board computers and having cooling fans, and even though the Steam Deck does have one inside, it can be a little bit underpowering considering just how intensive some of these high AAA games actually perform on the Steam Deck. So I've been looking for products. JSAUX kindly enough sent me over some products, and I'm really excited to show you this, guys, because if you own a Steam Deck and you're looking for something to cool those temps down, I think you may have just clicked on the video that will be for you. Let's get into the video. So first off, we're going to start with a bit of unboxing. Obviously, this is a JSAUX product. It's a cooling fan for the Steam Deck. It's actually designed solely for the Steam Deck, guys. It's not going to work on anything else. Here are the stats on the screen. So the fan speed is 6,000 RPM, 3 watts, 2,000 milliamp hour battery. It does take about an hour and a half, maybe it was, to charge it fully, and it stays pretty charged for a while, guys. I've got some really good game sessions out of it, so I'm really impressed with it so far. But here it is. Inside the box we have the fan itself. What's unique about it as well is, depending on what games that you play, depending on the intensity of the GPU and CPU, then obviously you do have a wheel. So when you turn it on, you'll hear it, but then you can turn it up, and as you can hear, it is pretty powerful. So the design itself is to suck the heat out of the Steam Deck, so no heat is trapped inside, obviously, and exhaust here where the steam will then release. So hopefully it will keep the temps down. Now, even just feeling it, it does get cool. It's really well built. It's solid. So we have a charging port at the bottom, USB Type-C, exhaust. We have a sticker which you peel off, and then you can situate it on the back of the Steam Deck. I'm not going to do that because I have a new back from JSAUX, which I'll be showing off as well, with a nice engravement of Sonic Love on it. So much shout out to Kathy from JSAUX for sending these products over. These are my own opinions. If I think they're absolutely dreadful and awful, then obviously that's my say-so, not theirs. But so far I've really enjoyed it. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to do pretty intensive Steam Deck AAA games, and we're going to test out some benchmarks, gameplay without the fan, gameplay with the fan, just to see where the temps are. I will put the benchmarks on the left hand side, but I wouldn't say that this is a thing that you could play in bed, but in the daytime, and you want to keep those temperatures down, then this would be ideal. I really think you're going to be impressed with this, guys. So let's test the games out and do some benchmarking. So we're going to kick things off with some Hogwarts Legacy. Absolute fantastic game. If you've not played it already, I strongly recommend it. If you are a Harry Potter fan, it's been an absolute dream, and it runs really well on the Steam Deck also. So what I've done, guys, I've let the FPS on off, put it on 60 frames. Even though that the gameplay will be choppy and bad in some places, because obviously it's best run at 30, I'm going to do this just so it really does tax the CPU and GPU, and just see what we get with the temperatures. And then likewise, we'll do the same with the JSAUX Steam Deck fan. Let me zoom in closer so you can see all the stats. So we're straight into the game, and as you can see already, the temperatures are quite high, reaching 78 Celsius on the GPU, and on the CPU, we're at 79 also. This is a graphically demanding game. One amazing game if you haven't played it already, guys. So I'm just going to mess around for a minute, get those temps up. It's reaching high 88s there. as you can see. It is uncapped frame rate, so it is 60 FPS. Not that it hits it in all areas, but it is uncapped, just attacks the GPU and CPU. So we're in the 80s. The actual Steamdeck fan has kicked in already. Trying to keep those temps down. You're probably looking around about an hour's gameplay, guys. As you can see, it's getting a little bit toasty. So what I'm going to do is I've turned the sound right down just so you can experience how loud the fan is. When you turn the volume up, you can drown out the fan. So all you have to do is simply just put it on the vent at the top. It goes over on the top like so. As I say, you can attach it with a sticky pad. It is sucking all the hot air. I can feel the hot air coming out quite fast. It's doing a great job of extracting it. And what we'll do now is just keep it there for a little while and see what we get temperature wise. So we were in the high 80s. And you can see it's come down to 72, 74. I'm sure if we leave it on for more than 10 minutes, you'll see it drop down to at least 71. Hitting 69 there now, as you can see. So it does make a dramatic difference, guys. It really does. So I know the fan seems pretty loud, but that's because I have nothing else volume wise. So there's full volume. It doesn't distract too much. But as you can see, the temps are floating around 70, 69, 72. So it really does make a massive difference. Let's move on to another game. So another game that can make the GPU and CPU work hard on the Steam Deck is Cyberpunk 2077. Not only that, but it does raise the temperatures quite a bit on both the GPU and CPU. So just gonna, again, same again, just gonna walk around, get those temps up. Come to our jig street. This is where I find it to be most taxing on the CPU and GPU and all the other cores as well, as you can see. And the temperatures really do start to rise. If you look at a 30, you do get a really nice experience at 30. I'm using a mixture of low, medium and high settings. The optimization on the Steam Deck for this game has been truly amazing. It looks incredible. But as you see, it doesn't take too long before those temperatures start to rise. Again, only getting roughly around about an hour of battery life. But what we want to do is keep those temperatures down best we can. I'm seeing them go up to 80s and even into the 90s, guys, heat wise. So again, same process. We're just gonna turn the fan on, place it on top of the exhaust, so let's see what the temperatures do now. So straight away you can see that it's going down into the 70s. Keeping it 76, 77. So straight away it's having an immediate impact. And you'll see that on the far left hand side where it shows you the cores themselves, you'll see that they're not all red all the time. They're now starting to turn orange and slightly yellow on some of them. But we haven't once gone over 80 just yet. Still remaining at 70, 71, 72. Again, proving that it really does make a massive difference. It may not seem a lot, like dropping temps by 8 Celsius, sometimes 10 Celsius, but when you're playing the game and you're seeing the results on screen on the left hand side, you can always tell that it's definitely helping performance. Again, I would call that another win. And again, if you turn up the sound, it drowns out the sound of the fan, which is pretty cool. Here we have another game that can be very demanding on the hardware of the Steamdeck, which is Callisto Protocol. Fantastic game. Again, I've uncapped the frame rate, but as you'll see as we go through, that it's pretty demanding, and almost straight away the temperatures are starting to rise. So I will play a little bit of this, get those temperatures up. I'll get my ass kicked. This is a bit where I'm stuck on. no good. So we're getting about 87, so let's turn the fan on and see what the temperatures are like. So instead of it being in the 80s, now we're in the 71, 73. I did think it would be like 5-10 minutes worth of gameplay, but it seems to be having an instant effect. And the heat goes pretty high with these intensive AAA games. You can see it going into the 60s, high 60s at the moment. Again, keeping it in the 70s. So yeah, I'd love to know what you think, guys. I think this is an absolute no-brainer. If you're looking for something to cool down your Steam Deck and to keep those temperatures low, and you don't mind the fan noise, don't get me wrong, it is noisy, but if you turn the volume up, it's not so bad. But I would highly recommend this, guys. I think it's absolutely brilliant. As I say, there is a sticky side. You peel that off and then you can just attach it to the Steam Deck, and then it's not going to go anywhere. As I say, I have to change the back on here, so I'm going to wait. And then there is a metal plate and it has an engravement saying Sonic Love, so I really can't wait to get that and show it off. And what I'll do is, once I've put that back plate on, I will then attach this properly and make sure that this is peeled and stuck on, and I'll do a further video to see whether the back plate itself, the heat shield, coupled with this, makes any more significant difference. So love to know what you think, guys. I'll leave a link in the description. A like would be fantastic. If you own a Steam Deck, this is so far by far the best cooling unit that I've tested. I got one of those cheap Amazon ones where it cools down the back of the Steam Deck, and it had no effect whatsoever, but this really did help straight away. It charges quickly. You can turn the noise down of the fan, which is also really good. So you can have it maximum, or you can turn it down and it will lower it down. So yeah, I'm really impressed with it. The build quality is solid. Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere, and it's 136 grams, I think, or 33 grams. So in all fairness, it's not that heavy. So yeah, love to know what you think of this, guys. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think the stats themselves shown that the temperatures do drop. It may not be as much as what you'd want, but it's definitely going to help with making sure that those frame dips and stutters can go away a little bit when it thermal throttles. So yeah, love to know what you think, guys. A like would be fantastic, sub for more, and as always, take care.